theater and I went for it. And since I'm going to ask you to put yourself out there for what I have to say, it was only fair that I did so myself. We got the pressure out of the way. My talk is you are enough, my friends. I'm here to tell you a story that is as unbelievable as it is true. And it played out right in these very aisles that you're in today. In 2014, my worlds collided. I was a senior executive at Microsoft in a global role, supporting the public sector all around the world. I was jet-setting left and right. I'd worked for 17 years in the corporate world. Yes, I'm older than I look. I'd worked for 17 years and I loved my career. Everything was great. But I had a very tactical problem. When you look after the world, you never really sleep. You've got time zones kicking in and calls and everything. So I wanted to play volleyball in the middle of the day. I had a very tactical problem. Didn't want to change the world. I'll be honest with you. And I said, where can you play volleyball in the middle of the day? It's only one place, a university. So after doing 15 years ago my MBA, I signed up for an undergrad degree to do sociology and history with the sole purpose to play volleyball. I am not kidding you. So, my claim to fame at the age of 36 was, I got a surprise for the UTM Eagles fans in the house. So, yes, for those of you who are not for UTM, is the jersey of the varsity team. And that is where I come in, number 20. Outranking my fellow UTM volleyball players. Some of them are here by at least 15 years. But you know what? It was all fun. It was great. I was getting my work out of this dimension of life that was just so different and exciting and interesting. And we went for it. Like I did intramurals, we won trophies, and most of my friends had no idea who I really was, that I'd hired over 500 young people in my career. I delivered over $1 billion of consulting revenue for some of the biggest companies in the world. So it was like these were these two worlds, and they were never meant to intersect. This was volleyball and workout. That was, you know, I mean, my daughter's here, support the family, make a difference. And it was fun, it was exciting. But then I saw something. Well, before I get there, you know what? Talking about the worlds colliding, I have to learn the lingo real fast. So when I got a text that says, "Aye," I actually literally Googled it. I thought a person was in pain. No, it wasn't. It was an expression of delight. Oh, really? Somebody comes up and says, "How are you doing, fam?" It's like, I haven't seen her, I actually don't know. "Oh, family, oh yeah, sure." So it was like this generational thing that I was going through. Again, most of the people I was with, they had no idea who I was. It was all fun, it was exciting. And then I started to notice something that I had no idea about on the outside. The sheer anxiety that a lot of young people were going through. The doubt that had penetrated their hearts and their minds. What I saw were people with limitless potential. But that's not what they were seeing. Constantly judging themselves, judging each other, looking at it, looking at success in a certain way, constantly being reminded that perhaps they're not enough. And I saw people that were full of potential, but I thought they were shackled with two things: self-doubt and anxiety. So in typical fashion of Sultan's let's solve a problem, I said, okay, let's create an organization dedicated to helping people, learn the skills that have helped me progress in my career. I created a Life Skills Learning Center. The office rivaled that of any multinational, got space in downtown Oakville, and it was a spectacular failure. Didn't see that one coming, did you? Neither did I. So I walked out of that realizing that the shackles I'm trying to break are way more deeply embedded than I understood from a distance. The chain reaction had been set in motion. I'd started to do something that I deeply cared about. I stand in front of you as the CEO of the largest youth empowerment, employment, entrepreneurship event in Canada, where people can come, they can connect with employment, entrepreneurship, and most importantly, versions of success that are filled with role models who have achieved success without losing sight of the important things in life, that don't use their authority to make others feel less, but raise them on their shoulders. But that journey wasn't, so transformative. This is our tribe now. It's gone into hundreds of people. Many of them are here. But that journey was so transformative that it actually led me to quit my job. I walked out. I walked for 1,000 kilometers. Yes, I am a bit crazy with these things, and I love it. And I found myself in Nepal, on my way to Mount Everest. I wanted to push myself physically, write my book for 30 days on a solo track, and I got all my gear, and I'm on the plane like that awkward guy that everybody knows they're going to Everest kind of thing, you all have one of those in your life. I was that guy. So I'm like landing in there, and I land in Kathmandu, and I want to leave the next day for Everest, and I saw kids playing soccer with water bottles because they didn't have a ball. And Sultan, you didn't come here to climb a rock. You came here to build something that truly matters. I'm proud to say in that moment, Library in a Week was born. When I walked in, I didn't know anybody. 2 hours later, we started our project with an aim to convert a dark room in a school into a loving, flourishing library. And with 300 people really pushing with everything that they had, that dream came true in 3 days. We've gone from that point to talk about chain reactions, to deep in the Himalayas, to deep in the Amazon jungle, to Colombia, to Pablo Escobar's old neighborhoods. 1.5 years, 24 libraries, 15,000 students impacted, and baby, we're just getting started. We're just getting started. Every single build is built with my own hands. My daughter joins me on several of them, and it's built by local people. So it's theirs from the day one. There's nobody coming in to save the day. And that whole sort of idea, that seeing that impact was so transformative in my life. I mean, I've spoken to 100,000 people just last year about this, but to be very honest with you, 5 hours from now, I'm actually heading to Mexico to build library number 25. Talking about this will never take precedence over actually doing the work. And that's really the idea, the message I have. This set a tsunami in my life that just completely changed it. But I go back because this is not about me or my chain reaction. It would be a giant waste of time, my friends, if I am way beyond in my own journey to make this about me. This is about a concept, an idea that has the potential to help you. So I'll be very vulnerable. I'll be very open with you on what set me in motion. It was a perspective shift that I am not enough. The enormity of the task that I was trying to take always scared me. Who was I? What was I? Oh my God, like, I don't have this, I don't have that, you name it. You know it. You go through the same process. To a perspective of I am enough. I'll tell you what, if there's one thing you are to take from my talk, let it be this statement. I'm a thinker. I just came back from walking 1,500 kilometers over a 2-month period. And when you have a lot of time to walk, you think a lot. I said, what defines somebody to not feel as if they have enoughness? What is that? What is that phenomenon? And I find that we have this version of success, I'm not beautiful enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not rich enough. I don't have this car. I don't have that car. But there is a fundamental flaw in that model. When we are looking to complete ourselves with external approval, nothing out there will fill the void that exists within, but the relentless pursuit of purpose. So everything we do, everything I do, I try to keep it very real. And that was the biggest shift that helped me connect with my energy, my chain reaction, and hopefully through the very open account that I'm sharing, it will help you with yours. But given the engineer that I am, I did my first degree in computer science, second in MBA, many years ago. The third one is still work in progress. I said I got to create like an enoughness framework. Like, if it's not boxed in, if it's not there, then it doesn't exist. Now I'm about to go very deep, very quick with you. Stay with me. There were 4 fundamental ideas that I believe anybody, if they truly embrace them, can start a tsunami of change in their own life, and as a result, in lives of our people around them. The first one is power. We feel that we are passengers in the bus of life, where these things are happening to us, and you know what? Oh my God, this happens, and that happens. My perspective is, you're not a passenger in the bus, you are not a bystander, you are the driver of that bus. You get to control what you do today after this talk, after these wonderful speeches that are happening. The feeling of helplessness is often driven by a feeling that as if we're not in control. Well, we are. Not of everything out there, but of our actions. And that's really a very powerful concept. There's tons of research around this, everything I'm sharing with you. I mean, sociologically speaking, power is fluid and it can be attained. If you look at all the people who changed the world, they weren't given designated authority. Rosa Parks, Gandhi, all of these people stood up and embraced their power because they believed in something that was bigger than their own self-promotion or whatever other way externally we define success. That's power. The second one is risk. I have two wonderful daughters. When I made this big leap from the corporate world into the world of where I am right now, the uncertainty of social entrepreneurship, building libraries with my own hands, you get a lot of questions. You get any change when it is significant brings a lot of anxiety and risk in our mind. For all good reasons, we're all responsible people. But I got one thing for you. And I was in the Sahara Desert looking up at the stars and it hit me. And that's when I eventually resigned and went for the path I'm on right now. My friends, are you mitigating the risk of dying without giving your dreams a shot? How's that for a risk? There was a research done in Australia recently about people who were diagnosed with terminal diseases, with weeks to live. Their number one regret was, I wish I followed my dreams. I wish I did not follow a life that others expected of me. I highly encourage you not to make that mistake. Make every other mistake. You will make mistakes. Go do your stuff. But at the end of the day, understand the real risk in life is to leave this human existence. As a famous philosopher of my generation, Bon Jovi, that's a joke, said, it's my life, I have, now or never. I mean, okay, not a philosopher, but let's give that guy some credit. He's on to something. Like, seriously, I mean, we all die. And I don't say that in a morbid way, I'm actually smiling. You know what? It's the ultimate de-stressor. It actually gives meaning to today. It gives us control. What are you so scared about? It's not like if you played safe to live for 500,000 years. Pretty much like averages play themselves out, So while you're here, live, exist. Be grateful. That's a big thing that I saw in the Enoughness framework that actually cripples progress, the feeling of entitlement. I mean, this painting is actually from my daughter's art store. They're Canada's youngest social entrepreneurs, and this painting reflects that African kids are often portrayed in malnourished ways, and at the end of the day, there's a lot of joy that they have as well, with very limited resources. And when we feel entitled, because that's often what I also felt, hey, this is personal as well as projected out to you, it cripples us because we feel something out there is responsible for what's happening to us. I mean, life doesn't owe us anything. And at the end of the day, I'm very grateful that I'm getting a chance to build this library starting tomorrow with 50 local people. I may not get number 26, that's okay. And I'm grateful for today. And I think that's a very important message. And the last one is perhaps the deepest. When you do what I do, you put yourself out there constantly, leaving a very lucrative, financially secure place. You're constantly out there. And at the front end of social development, you see a lot of human behavior. You see a lot of human behavior that sometimes disturbs you. And you go like, what are you doing? And as I was walking in these long walks, it hit me that the darkness we feel around within, however it may be, embrace it. Because as a change maker, you are a lighthouse. And the darkness only amplifies your role. And the winds and the battering of the sea and everything else you feel is part of the package. And you know what? Keep that energy going, and you will never know how many lives you impact. But you know deep inside you are making a difference, because some ships will see you, they never even talk to you, but will go on. I mean, one gentleman is here, 6 months after one of my speeches, he came out and told me, he started a nonprofit and did an amazing work with it. It just rejuvenated me. So that's my enoughness framework, but I promised you an authentic account. So I'll tell you a story of the boy in the library. This is a story I tell at the launch of every library. Now some of these kids don't have shoes. Some of these kids are surrounded by limitations. We're built in a jail in Medellin, Colombia. We're built in First Nation reserves riddled with youth suicides. We go to the far ends of where humanity is fighting for that respect that they deserve. And I tell them the story of a boy from a good family fell on some hard times. He was a very athletic boy, he had good skills and everything, but life was really tough. He couldn't afford shoes, he couldn't afford, shirts. And he had to drop out of school, dad had already died. But all he had was books, and it changed his life. He studied a lot, got into university, but life was really tough. This wasn't a rosy point. He survived on less than $50 a month. 30 of it went to the dorms and other stuff, and $20 is all he had, and he didn't have enough to eat. Now this is something kids can relate to. And I look in their eyes and I say, you know what, just to make a few extra dollars, he was commute an hour and a half each way. And in the middle of all that was a little bookshop with books he couldn't afford to touch. But he could go in there and look at them and disappear. It was a spaceship. He could disappear. It was a portal. All those pictures fueled his dreams. The food reminded him of his hunger, but he saw all these strange people that he wanted to meet one day. And I look in the eyes and I say, you know what, he was told over and over again, he's not enough. He's not enough because he's poor. He's not enough because he's not good looking enough. He's not enough because he doesn't have this or he doesn't have that. And I tell them every dream of that boy came true. He went to 75 countries of this world. He became someone only to understand the real meaning of life. And the reason why I do what I do, and I'm looking in your eyes right now, is whenever you're doubting yourself and you're feeling you're not enough, I want you to remember this story. Because that boy who was constantly told he's not enough is right now standing in front of you telling you you are. So that's my big message. So my story, everything I've shared with you comes from my heart, because it would be fruitless otherwise. And I really want you to resonate with everything else I've said, because it's not coming from a place of naivety. It's coming from a place of deep understanding of the limitless potential of humans. And don't please walk out of this story thinking I am by any shape or form smarter or sound. My wife will remind me of 15 years. Well, my friends, you control what happens next. So in this chain reaction of yours, I'm saying you're going to make a decision today. And you're going to make a decision tomorrow. You're going to make a decision after that. And if my story has any resonance with you, it is just to share you are in control. So let's not feel helpless. Let's start making choices. There's a chant we do at the launch of every library. It's a chant I want you to say with me to bring out that enoughness that's in there. So please repeat after me, and when you check out what I do, you will see that 100,000 lives have echoed all across the planet with the same chant. So let's say it like we mean it. Repeat after me, please. I am strong.
I am strong.
I am strong.
I am strong.
I am smart.
I am smart.
I have the power.
I have the power
To change the world.
to change the world.
Do what you love, my friends, even if you're not good at it. And I think it's time.
It's time for what?
Sorry, what was that?
It's time for what?
That's my daughter. It's time to leave the doubt behind. This is the poem we worked on together. It's time to leave the doubt behind. It is time to stop following my friends and see the sign, because you are awesome, just the way you are. Where you stand is actually the start of the line for pointing forward. Every time you look in the mirror, you see I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, I got this, I got that, not this way, down. Every time you look in the mirror, remind yourself, oh baby, I look just fine. Believe it. And if you fall down, don't you dare give up. It's part of life. Because you're in your prime till you're 99. You connect with that purpose, you will unleash your power, you will be amazed. It's time to hug those you love with all the strength, with all the enoughness your body can find. Hug them and hug them close every time as if it was the last time. It's time to leave the doubt behind. It's time to embrace your purpose as I have embraced mine. When I look at you, as you see, I don't prepare my speeches a lot. I'm going to go live with you on here. When I look at you, all I see is power. When I look at you, all I see is potential. When I look at you, all I see is charisma. When I look at you, all I see is the solution to some of the world's biggest problems that are here or will come. When I look at you, I see those that are going to build a legacy that will shine on well after their spirit leaves the planet. When I look at you, Patrick, I see the biggest solutions to the transportation problems the world has yet to see. When I look at yours, I see social entrepreneurship that's going to change the world. When I look at you, Yara, I see a global change maker. When I look at you, my friends, all I see is love. So it is now your time to shine. Do what you love. It doesn't matter whether you're good or not at it. So I'm going to end that by putting myself out there again. Take my second chance at singing in a theater. But the message, I hope, regardless of my voice, you take it and you embrace it. So here it goes. Oh.